If Trump's Supreme Court pick goes through, miraculously goes through, but you win the election, and let's say the Democrats then take over the Senate but maintain the House, would you consider adding more Supreme Court justices to the bench?
It's a legitimate question, but let me tell you, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
You're not going to answer the question, Joe? Well, could you maybe answer this question? Why are you wearing a face mask when the person asking you the question is in another location? In fact, there's a possibility she's actually in another state. What, do you think that the COVID-19 virus can spread over the internet by fiber optics? Of course, why is he wearing a face mask? I mean, we've seen him do remote interviews from the basement or from wherever he was before, and he never used to wear the face mask. Of course, the reason why he is virtue signaling now with in absurd situations wearing the face mask is because he wants to keep everything focused on COVID-19. He thinks that's a winning issue. What he doesn't think is a winning issue is answering any questions about the Supreme Court, which so you know what? Let's watch some more of that interview, and I'll get right back to you guys.
If Trump's Supreme Court pick goes through, miraculously goes through, but you win the election, and let's say the Democrats then take over the Senate but maintain the House, would you consider adding more Supreme Court justices to the bench?
It's a legitimate question, but let me tell you, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
Because it will shift all the focus. That's what he wants. He never wants to talk about the issue at hand. He always tries to change the subject. But let's say I answered that question. Then the whole debate's going to be, well, Biden said or didn't say. Biden said he would or wouldn't. That's going to, the discussion should be about why he is moving in a direction that's totally inconsistent with what the founders wanted. They're designed, the Constitution says the voters get to pick the president who gets to make the pick and the Senate who gets to decide. We're in the middle of an election right now, Brittany. You know, people are voting now. By the time this Supreme Court hearing would be held, if they hold one, would in fact, there's estimated 30 to 40% of the American people already have voted. It is a fundamental breach of constitutional principle.
Okay, so why does Mr. Mask, Joe there, why does he not want to answer that question about whether he would pack the Supreme Court? It's because his handlers haven't figured out the right answer to program him with. I mean, either answer that he gives is possible electoral poison for him at the voting booth. Here's the thing: if he answers that, yeah, he'll go ahead and pack the Supreme Court like the left in the Democrat Party does, he'll alienate quite a few voters out there, especially like independents or people leaning one way or the other, if there's any left. And then, of course, if he says that he won't pack the Supreme Court, he's going to tick off the people that are really running the Democrats, the leftists. So there's no good answer for him. Unfortunately for him, next week, actually 6 days from now, I think it is, on the 29th, he's going to have to, what is he going to do? He's going to say, I'm not going to answer that question during the debate. So that's the big question. I'd like to get an answer to it, but it's just that he hasn't been he's not coming up with these answers. It's his handlers. His handlers haven't figured out what answer to program him with on the Supreme Court. It's a real dilemma for them. So it's going to be interesting if they program him in time for the debate next week to give the proper answer.
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to answer that question.
See you guys later. Oh, and I'll see you at Joe Biden. We'll see you at the debate next week.